Have you ever noticed how some days begin differently? Not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet way. You open your eyes, and for a few seconds, before remembering the to-do list or the worries waiting for you, there exists only a gentle sensation of presence, as if in that brief instant you were exactly where you should be, without rush, without judgment, simply being. Those moments are precious. And perhaps you've noticed they happen more frequently when you're calmer, more present with yourself. When you wake up and, before picking up your phone or starting to think about everything you need to do, you simply breathe. You feel the comfort of the pillow. You notice the light coming through the window. You hear the sounds of the world waking up with you. In those simple moments, without you needing to do absolutely anything, you're already connected. Because the truth is that you're part of something much greater, not in an abstract or difficult to understand way, but in a real and tangible way. Each breath you take connects you with the air that surrounds the entire planet. Each beat of your heart echoes the same rhythm that moves the tides, that changes the seasons, that keeps the stars in their places. You're not separate from nature, from life, from the universe. You are a unique expression of all of this. And the universe has a gentle way of reminding you of this every day, through small miracles that you may have already learned to call coincidences. That moment when you thought of someone dear and that person sent you a message. That song that played exactly when you needed to hear those words. That unexpected encounter that brought exactly the information you were looking for. That day when everything simply flowed, as if someone were organizing things for you behind the scenes. These are not accidents. They are signs. They are the way life converses with you, showing you that you're being cared for, guided, supported, even when you don't perceive it. And the more you begin to pay attention to these moments, the more they begin to appear. Not because the universe changed, but because you're looking with more attentive eyes. You're learning the subtle language of synchronicity. There is a wisdom within you that knows things before your conscious mind understands them. You've already felt this. That intuition that made you choose a different route home, and later you discovered the usual route was congested. That feeling about a person that was confirmed with time. That inexplicable desire to do something that ended up taking you to a wonderful place. This is the universe guiding you through your own intuition. And the most beautiful part is that you don't need to make an effort to access this. You only need to start trusting. Trusting that first thought that arises. Trusting when something inside you says, yes, this is the way. Trusting when you feel an inexplicable peace about a decision, even if it doesn't make logical sense yet. Because logic is wonderful for solving problems, but intuition is the compass that guides you to your purpose. Pause for a moment. Breathe deeply and place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. That constant and faithful rhythm that never stops. That works for you even when you sleep, even when you forget to be grateful. That heart beating inside you is synchronized with a much greater pulse, the pulse of life, the pulse of the universe. And through that synchronicity, you receive guidance at every instant. When you awaken connected, you awaken remembering who you really are. Not the stories you tell about yourself based on the past, but the pure truth of your essence. You are someone capable of deep love. You are someone with unique gifts that only you can offer to the world. You are someone who deserves kindness, beginning with the kindness you offer yourself. You are someone who is always growing, always learning, always transforming. I'm going to invite you now to experience something with me. Repeat these words, out loud or in silence, but with all your attention. I am connected with the wisdom of the universe. I trust the guidance I receive in each moment. I am open to the signs that life sends me. I am guided by love in all my choices. I am exactly where I need to be in this moment. Feel these words. Don't just think about them, but let them resonate in your chest, in your entire body. Because these are not just beautiful affirmations. They are decrees of a new way of living. A way where you're no longer fighting alone, trying to figure everything out on your own, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. A way where you allow yourself to be supported, guided, sheltered by something much greater and wiser than your fear. And there is no wrong way to do this. There is no magic formula or unique path that everyone needs to follow. Your awakening is as unique as your fingerprint. It can happen through meditation or through a walk in nature. It can happen listening to music or in a deep conversation with a friend. It can happen reading a book that touches your heart or simply watching the sunset. What's important is not how you connect, but that you allow that connection to happen. Because when you allow yourself to feel that connection, something changes within you. You begin to perceive that the thoughts you think really matter. Not in a rigid or frightening way, but in an empowering way. When you choose to think thoughts that elevate you, that inspire you, that make you feel hope, you begin to see evidence of those thoughts around you. Opportunities appear. The right people cross your path. Solutions emerge where before you only saw problems. Think of your life as a garden. Each thought is a seed. When you plant seeds of doubt, of fear, of I can't, those seeds grow and multiply. But when you consciously begin to plant seeds of trust, of possibility, of I am guided, something extraordinary happens. The garden of your life begins to bloom in ways you couldn't even imagine were possible. Not because you forced the flowers to grow, but because you created the right environment for them to blossom naturally. And here's something that perhaps no one has told you. You don't need to pull out all the weeds at once. You don't need to have a perfect garden before you start receiving the fruits. The universe is not waiting for you to be perfect to guide you. It's already guiding you now, just as you are, with all your doubts, with all your fears, with all your beautifully human imperfections. Perhaps you're thinking, but I've tried to trust before and was disappointed. I've tried to believe in signs, and it seemed like nothing was happening. How can I be sure that this time will be different? And my dear, that is a very valid question, very honest. And I want to honor that doubt, because it comes from a place of protection, from a heart that has already been hurt and is just trying to stay safe. The difference is not in having absolute certainty. The difference is in being willing to try again, but this time with a deeper understanding. This time knowing that the universe's guidance doesn't always come wrapped in the form you expected. Sometimes it comes through a no that protects you from something you can't see yet. Sometimes it comes through a detour that seems inconvenient, but that takes you exactly where you need to be. Sometimes it comes through a silence that invites you to listen more deeply. Breathe. Let this truth enter. You are not alone on this journey. You never were. There is an invisible current that sustains you, even when you don't feel it, like the air that surrounds you. You don't see it, but it's always there, always available, always giving you exactly what you need to live. The universe's guidance is like that, constant, faithful, always present. And the more you recognize its presence, the more clearly you can perceive it. This doesn't mean you'll never have difficult days. It means that even on difficult days, you know you're not alone. You know you can lean on that greater connection. You know you can ask for help from the universe, from life, from something greater than you, and trust that help will arrive. Perhaps not in the way you expected, but always in the way you need. And do you know what happens when you begin to live this way? When you wake up every day remembering that you're connected, that you're being guided, that you're part of something greater? You relax, not in a lazy way, but in a deep and powerful way. You stop trying to control every detail. You stop thinking you need to have all the answers. You begin to trust in the natural flow of life. Imagine a river. The water doesn't fight to reach the ocean. It simply flows. When it finds a rock, it doesn't stop and say, "This shouldn't be here. This is ruining my plan." It simply finds a way around. It trusts that the path exists, even when it can't see the complete route. And eventually, inevitably, it arrives where it was always destined to arrive. You are like that water, my dear, and life is the river that carries you. You can fight against the current, try to swim in the opposite direction, exhaust yourself trying to control every curve and every movement, or you can learn to trust, learn to flow. Learn to let yourself be carried by the infinite intelligence that created the stars, that makes your heart beat, that guides birds in their migrations without them having maps. Now, I want to invite you to a simple practice. something you can do tomorrow morning or the next time you wake up. Before picking up your phone, before starting to think about your to-do list, before letting worry enter, do this. Place both hands on your heart, feel the beat, and say out loud or in silence, "Good morning, universe. I am here, I am open, I am ready to receive your guidance today. Thank you for guiding me." It's simple, but powerful, because you're declaring your intention. You're opening the door. You're saying yes to the connection. And the universe always, always responds to a sincere yes. And then, throughout the day, pay attention. Not in a tense or forced way, but in a curious and light way. Pay attention to the small synchronicities, to the song that plays at the right moment, to the person who appears with exactly the information you needed, to the thought that arises from nowhere and guides you to a solution. In those moments, smile, acknowledge, say a silent, "Thank you, I saw, I noticed, I'm paying attention." Because gratitude is the language the universe understands best. Gratitude for the small signs, gratitude for the doors that open, gratitude even for the doors that close, because you're beginning to trust they closed for a reason. Gratitude for your own courage to be here, to be open, to be willing to trust even when you don't have all the answers. Awakening Connected is remembering every day that you are loved exactly as you are now. Not when you achieve your goals, not when you finally change what you think you need to change. Now, with all your human and beautiful imperfections, with all your unique journey, with all your unrealized potential, you are already worthy. You are already enough. You are already a walking miracle. And today, this day that is beginning, or that has already begun, or that is ending while you listen to this day is a gift, a blank canvas full of possibilities. You can paint it with the colors you choose. You can fill it with kindness, with curiosity, with gratitude for the small moments. You can use it to take a step toward your dreams, even if it's a small step. You can dedicate it to treating yourself as you would treat someone you love deeply. The universe is always speaking with you, through the beauty that takes your breath away, through the laughter that arises without warning, through the peace you feel when you're doing something you love, through the doors that open exactly at the right moment, through the strength you find within yourself when you thought you had no more. And perhaps, just perhaps, it's speaking with you now, through these words, through this message that reached you at this specific moment in your life, not by chance, never by chance, because you're ready to listen, you're ready to awaken, you're ready to live connected. You are being guided in every moment, in every breath, and all you need to do is open your heart to receive that guidance. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, and move forward with the certainty that something greater is taking care of you. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be perfect. It only needs to be true. It only needs to be you, awakening to the truth that you were never alone, that you were always loved, that you were always guided. Welcome to a new way of waking up. Welcome to the connection that was always there, waiting for you to notice. Welcome home. And as you continue through your day, remember, the universe is whispering to you through every present moment, through every beat of your heart, through every conscious breath. You only need to be quiet enough to listen, present enough to perceive, open enough to receive. You are guided. You are loved. You are exactly where you need to be. And that, my dear, is the most powerful message of all.